Chapter 9. Kakashi-sensei? Yeah, right. I'll be the best ninja ever, just like you, Daddy. Another month had passed and the time had finally come for the Chunin exams. Iruka came by to break the news to Naruto. The little boy was so attached to him, and he was going to be very busy for a while, especially if he passed. He took the boy to a Chiraku for some ramen. Kakashi was walking behind them watching as Naruto held tight to the older boy's hand. Most of the villagers had learned to keep their thoughts to themselves and to stop staring so openly at the boy, but Kakashi found he still had to remind an occasional villager of just who was raising the pup. It still made him so angry when he caught the tail end of some dark muttering or evil look. He could sense the thoughts of the nearby men and was getting angry. Yumino's gentle voice calmed him down and made him really appreciate the boy even more. Iruka had noticed the way the boy was avoiding the gazes of the villagers as he always did. You know, little brother, do not let it bother you. This is still the best village to live in no matter what a few people do. The stares and mean things people say can only hurt you if you allow it to. What's so good about the village, Ruka? Everybody hate me. Not everyone, little brother. I don't hate you and neither does your father. What about Genma, Hate, Kurenai, Guy and the Hokage? They don't hate you. You have friends too like Kiba, Chuji, and Shikamaru to name a few. He stopped walking, squatted down, and ruffled his hair. Do you remember back when I told you about the Will of Fire? Naruto thought hard then shook his head. Iruka smiled at him. That is what makes a Konoha shinobi strong. It's the drive to protect those who are precious to us. The village is full of people, and they all have their own hopes, dreams and precious people of their own. I want to protect everyone in this village. It does not matter if they know me or like me. What matters is that they are a part of this village. Naruto, I have to tell you something important. I am taking the Chunin exams very soon. If I pass, I will not be able to watch you anymore. Why not, Ruka? He asked, clutching the other boy's hand tightly. He answered, because I will have other duties. I want to become a teacher at the academy. I will have to go on higher ranked missions and get some experience. Naruto swiped at the tears forming in his eyes. With a quiver in his voice that he could not prevent, he asked, You gonna forget me? Never, little brother, would I ever forget you. I will see you, just not as often. Who knows, maybe you will be in my class if I get to be an instructor. But you know if I do, then you can't call me brother in front of everyone. Why not? You don't really like me, huh? 'Cause I never do nothing right and I'm a bad boy? So K. Kakashi, who had been following the whole conversation, reached out and grabbed the boy by the back of his shirt. Whoa, pup, what are you talking about? You are a very good little boy. You do many things right. Yeah, interjected Iruka, you have been learning lots of things real quickly. Remember how fast you learned how to add and subtract. You are very smart. Shika says I'm a weirdo 'cause I have a run and stuff when I do my work. Son, you just have too much energy to sit and study. You are very lucky that Iruka figured that out. You have a battle reflex, that's why you think best when your body is in motion. That will make you a very smart shinobi someday. Most people have a hard time coming up with good plans while they are moving. As for being bad, well, that's just wrong too. I've seen what you learned from Guy. Your leaf whirlwind is coming along great, especially from one so young. I'll bet that as soon as you get a bit bigger, you will be unstoppable. Iruka smiled at the cheered-up little boy. What say we get some ramen now? A few months of Kakashi training with Naruto had really helped the boy with his confidence. He never balked at going outside anymore. They had just got home from one such training session when the Nin got a nasty little surprise. It was graduation time at the academy again. He received a letter informing him that he had to be a sensei to 3 new graduates. Oh great, he thought. I really don't like spoiled rotten bratty academy kids. He stepped into the shower while considering what to do with Naruto. Most of the people who watched him were on missions. Iruka was now a chunin and had longer missions than before. He laughed to himself as he thought of a perfect revenge for the Hokage sticking him with students. He would let him watch his pup while he met with the little brats. As he got out of the shower, he thought about his pup running Sarutobi ragged. He laughed hard until he heard a loud crash coming from the kitchen. Naruto was supposed to be sleeping. He went into the kitchen carefully, avoiding the shattered glass that was once a sugar jar. It was placed up high to prevent the boy from getting into it. His son was standing on the counter reaching for the cookie jar that used to be behind the sugar jar. He grabbed it and took out a cookie when he finally noticed Kakashi. Naruto guiltily flushed and said, "Oh heh, you want a cookie, daddy?" He wrapped his towel tighter around his waist and plucked the boy from the kitchen counter. "No pup, I do not want a cookie." "Oh, okay. Can I have your cookie, daddy?" Kakashi smothered an exasperated sigh. "No son, it is your bedtime, not snack time. Cookies are not good to eat this late." "I'm sorry, daddy. I was hungry." Kakashi carried the boy upstairs and tried to put him in his own bed. He would not let go of the nin. It took 1 glass of water, 20 minutes of searching for his bear, Mr. Kumachan, and an examination of the closet and under the bed for the boogeyman, before the boy fell asleep. 2 hours later, Kakashi awoke when the chibi crawled into his bed and curled up to him with his face on Kakashi's chest. He sighed and pulled a little towel out from his bedside table to put under the boy's cheek. He still drooled. He drooled a lot. The little Bond boy is in the park with Kiba, Chuji, and Shikamaru. They are happily playing with their ninja figures in the sandbox. "Come on Naruto, let's go tease the girls," begged Kiba, "it'll be fun. Shika and Chuji are gonna do it too. You have to do it with us." "Yeah, but my daddy said I gotta try to be nice to girls." Secretly he didn't want to do it. He didn't like girls, but he really wanted to touch Sakura's hair. If he made her mad, then she would never let him do it. Shikamaru lazily pointed out, "TCH, you two are so troublesome. Your dad only said you have to try, right? So go try. If that doesn't work, then you can tell him you did what he told you to." Kiba's eyes lighted up. Naruto was always his partner in every joke, but sometimes he had to trick him into doing some of them. "Come on, let's go say hi to the girls. That way we are being nice. If they are mean to us, will you play a prank with me?" When Naruto agreed, they ran over to the pretty little girls. The blonde-haired boy greeted both girls, and then it was Kiba's turn. He walked behind them and sniffed loudly. "Hey Ino, did you know that dogs sniff butts to say hello?" asked Kiba with a sly smile. "Yeah, and they like to drag their butts on the ground 'cause they get worms in their poop too." "Yo Kiba. You are so gross, get away from me," Ino yelled. "Come on Sakura, let's get away from these gross boys." Sakura raised her fists and punched them both. Naruto laughed, "That didn't hurt 'cause you hits like a little dumb baby." Kiba winked at Naruto and said, "Well, we were nice. Now will you help me play that prank? We can turn their hair blue. Please, please, please." The dream suddenly changes. The world suddenly turns dark and surrounds him like a cloak. The darkness is heavy as though it is trying to invade his body and take him over. Far away in the distance, Hai sees a pinprick of light. Although he cannot see his feet, he makes his way forward, slowly at first, then at a stumbling run. The light gets a little bigger. It is not a light, it is silver. It is silver hair. "Hurry up, pup," it says. "It is daddy. It is my daddy. Wait for me," he cries frantically at the nin, but he does not stop. He runs faster, desperate to reach daddy. His lungs burn with effort, but still he gets no closer. Something big and frightening blocks his progress. A light seems to shine down on it, exposing an ugly troll. Its eyes are human. They look so familiar, like they were the eyes of someone who he had known. Like someone from the bad place. Its mouth opened and the evil voice grated out, "You are a little monster and deserve to die." Snarling teeth and razor-sharp claws sink into his flesh. His screams go unheeded as the merciless eyes light with pleasure at his pain. He tries to lift his head and pleads for someone to save him, "Daddy." Something wraps around him tight. He panics as he remembers the coat they tied on him. He screams hysterically. The pressure increases and the urge to open his eyes is tremendous, but he cannot. Trapped in the nightmare, his hoarse screams turn to whimpers. Finally, he hears the sounds around him, fuzzy and far away at first, then louder and more distinct. "SHH, wake up now. It is just a bad dream. Wake up, Daddy's here." The harsh sobs shake his small frame, still he cannot open his eyes. He feels the hand on his back, rubbing it gently. No claws are puncturing his skin. There is no pain anywhere. Hardly daring to believe it, he cracks open one eye. His vision, blurred from tears, makes out the silver hair of his father. The other eye opens and he looks around in fright, thinking it is just another dream. Tears fall from his face freely. He reaches out his hand to chase away the cruel illusion, but instead of air, his fingers touch warm skin. He slowly extends the other hand and touches Kakashi's cool brow. "Daddy? I'm here, pup." He wipes the tears from Naruto's face and tries to control his rising anger. He thinks that woman was evil, plain and simple. I am glad she is dead and I hope that she is sitting in a special place reserved especially for her in hell. Every time Naruto had a particularly bad dream, he would be won and withdrawn the next day. Kakashi just did not know what to for him. Until he could get the kid to talk about his nightmares, he would continue to experience the horrors. He calmly stroked the boy's head and tried again. "Tell Daddy about your dream." "Am scared." "I know, son. Daddy has scary dreams sometimes too. It will make you feel better to talk about it. I can help you make the dreams go away." "A bad monster hurt me." He pointed to the scar under his arm and said, "She hurt me here." "She?" Relief flooded through his body as the boy finally started to talk about the dreams. "I know you got hurt a lot before, but that is in the past now. I will keep you safe." "Do you remember who she was?" "From the bad place, Ms. Wookie. She hate me and hurt me." "She can't no more?" "No, son. Ms. Yuki is dead." Oh, he rubbed his bear across his face. "I safe now?" "Very safe." He smiled as he watched the boy drift off to sleep. He decided to go ahead and take the boy with him the day after tomorrow. He would get a kick out of watching his daddy beat the snot out of the little brats. And maybe, after he failed the little genin, he would take his pup out for a treat. The next morning he had to push and prod the chibi to get him out of bed. An angry, cranky disposition replaced his usual sunny temperament, but Kakashi expected it. The nightmare last night did seem especially bad. He was bitten twice before he got the boy out of the house. The nin carried the boy on his shoulders and raced across the rooftops to cheer him up. When they arrived at the Hokage's office, Naruto was excited to see the old man. Kakashi went to meet his new students. To say the least, he was not impressed. He arranged their bell test for the next morning and hurried back to the tower. He found Naruto sitting on Sarutobi's lap chattering away. "And then my daddy say that even though you really old, you still strong." Kakashi entered through the window and interrupted, "Ah, Naruto, what did I say about house talk?" "But daddy, he's the Hokage. You said he's the daddy of the village. You said so, member. You said only talk house with the daddy." Hiruzen's eyes crinkled at Hatake. It was fun for him to see the normally stoic shinobi discomfort. He patted the boy then said, "Go greet your father, young Naruto." He twisted his small body and hugged the man, chirping, "Bye, Gramps." He hopped off the Hokage's lap and jumped into his father's arms. "Did ya like your new kids, Daddy? Not better than me though, right?" Yes, Kakashi, did you? Asked the Hokage, suppressing a laugh. Ma, they were not very inspiring or notable. I definitely like you better, pup, he said to Naruto. To the Hokage, he said, when my son graduates from the academy, he will be much stronger and smarter than them. Did ya ask him yet? Questioned Naruto while pointing at Sarutobi. Kakashi put the boy's finger down, then shifted uncomfortably at the Hokage's inquisitive look. Well, as you know, Naruto is almost 4, and although I know the normal age of admission to the academy is 5, we were hoping he could get in a little early. Maybe the class that starts in the spring. All of his friends will be starting then. He already knows how to read and write pretty well. His accuracy with a shuriken is very impressive. I believe he is ready. The Hokage studied them thoughtfully. This is 6 months from now, so I will allow it as long as an instructor from the academy okays it. Kakashi had to set the boy down as he was practically vibrating with excitement. The next morning, Kakashi awoke before the chibi again, as he had been too excited to sleep. He just had that nightmare again where Naruto replaced Rin, and he killed the boy. With his heart racing, he tried to bring up his hand to wipe his face, but something had it pinned down. Naruto's warm little body pressed up so tight to Kakashi was a surprise. With a shaky hand, he felt the boy's chest rise and fall in relief. He hated that dream more than anything. He caressed the blonde's head, then said in a forced, cheerfully loud voice, "Come on, pup. It is time to get up and test the new genin." Naruto turned over and clutched the covers tighter. "Tired, daddy? It's too cold outside. So you do not want to come with me and watch me work?" He pulled the covers down and tweaked the boy's nose. "I will even let you bring some kunai to practice with." Naruto's eyes got big and he jumped out of bed. Kakashi chuckled at him as he prepared their food. As he strapped a weapons pouch on his son's leg, he eyed the clock and saw that they were already 2 hours late. He shrugged his shoulders and figured that it would be at least another hour before they would arrive at the training grounds. The early morning chill had pretty much dissipated when they finally arrived 3.5 hours late. Kakashi was walking slowly holding Naruto's hand. The chibi was amusing him with a tale about a trick involving blue dye he and Kiba played on Ino recently. The boy stopped talking as they neared the training field and saw the 3 genin that were waiting by the posts on them. As they got closer, the 2 boys and girl shouted, "You're late." Naruto, having heard the same thing from all his father's friends all of the time, covered his mouth and giggled as Kakashi said, "Well, you see, there was this little old lady carrying her groceries up this big hill. Being a shinobi of Konohagakure, I had to help her." The 3 genin obviously did not believe Kakashi. Naruto, playing along, said, "Yeah, she was real old and old people die all the time, huh, daddy? You posed to help people afore they die." The female genin gazed at Naruto sitting on the memorial stone and huffed, "This is so not fair. Why did you bring the baby? You are supposed to be focused on us, not some stupid little kid." Kakashi frowned in annoyance at her. "He is not a baby nor is he stupid. You will find that I am more than capable of watching him and testing you 3 at the same time with my eye closed if I wanted." He told the genin to get the bells from him before noon and come at him with the intent to kill. As soon as they ran off to hide, he called the chibi over. It was a perfect opportunity to work on tracking skills. "All right, son, I want you to listen really good and find out where those brats went." Naruto closed his eyes and used his acute hearing and keen sense of smell. Soon he giggled and pointed towards the river. "Over there, daddy. I heard the big boy in a bushes. Can I hit him with my shuriken, daddy?" He pulled out of his pouch 3 small wooden shuriken. Kakashi considered it for a half a second before nodding his head. If the genin was hit with a toy by a little boy like Naruto, then he deserved to go back to the academy. Naruto threw it just like he had been practicing the last few months. It actually made it into the bushes, but didn't hit anything. The chibi let out a wordless grumble in frustration and moved to retrieve his weapons. He stopped at the bush and pointed up, "Daddy, the girl up here and the big boy is behind you now." Yes, I know. Good job, son, said the Nin as he calmly held out his hand to stop the kick aimed at his head by the taller male genin. He called that one useless. Without turning around, he blocked 3 punches and 2 more kicks. Naruto stood by the bush, watching in fascination. He shouted, "Do it now, daddy, 1,000 years of pain." 2 seconds later Naruto's mouth dropped open as the young genin sailed over his head and landed in the river. He began to laugh at the sight, but was grabbed from behind and pulled into the bushes. The female genin or nitwit, as Kakashi called her, tried to attack him with a kunai. Frankly, he was surprised when she managed to pull it out of her pouch without stabbing herself. As she lunged at him, he sidestepped and grabbed her scarf. I mean, really, who is stupid enough to wear a scarf? He thought. He grabbed her hand, twisted it behind her back, wrapped it around her hands, then wrapped the scarf around her feet. He sent a wink to the hog-tied girl and looked up to find Naruto gone. He was about to search for the idiot, now renamed Dead Meat, when Naruto came trotting out of the bushes by himself. Relieved that he did not have to kill any genin today, he asked, "Where you been, pup?" He walked over and picked the boy up as he began his explanation. Naruto giggled and pointed behind him. "That boy tried to tie me up, daddy, but I wouldn't let him. I punch him in a eye like Unca guy show me, then I bit him on a hand, then I kick him on a leg. Then, know what happened, daddy? I throw my shuriken at him. You should have seen him, daddy, he was mad. Then know what happened?" He giggled again and whispered his secret into the nin's ear. "He cried, daddy. I saw it. He say I was a baby, but I'm not. I saw a tear when he pulled shuriken out of his butt." He looked seriously at Kakashi. "Daddy, Ninga not posed to cry, huh?" Just then the alarm rang, so Kakashi walked back to the posts and waited for the other 2 genin to join him. Nitwit still had not managed to untie herself, so Naruto skipped over to her to show her what he found up in his nose. "Hey daddy, guess what Kiba showed me, cup o' cheese." He farted into his cupped hand and put it up to her nose. Her screeches amused Kakashi to no end. He thought, cup of cheese? Where do these kids come up with these kinds of things? I wonder if Guy would fall for that one. He rubbed his hands together evilly. Or maybe Enko. I will have to make that one our strategy code yellow. Dead Meat limped up with a slightly reddened eye and useless followed dripping water. As Kakashi eyed them all, he happily said, "You all fail." He took Naruto's hand, the one he did not fart into, and walked towards to market, leaving them all sputtering behind. He looked down at the chibi in pride and said, "How about some ice cream, pup?" "2 scoops, daddy," he wheedled, "please. That boy tamanized me." "He traumatized you, did he? Just who have you been talking to lately?" "Enko. She my girlfriend." "Isn't she a little old and mean for you?" "Daddy, why don't you make her the mama? She is real nice to me. She says I'm her little teddy bear." He giggled a little as he pictured himself covered in soft fur, "and she says I'm a cuddle bug." Kakashi experienced a brief moment of panic then said, "Give me a break, kid, I'm only 19. I am definitely not ready for marriage yet. Besides, I would prefer someone a little nicer, and someone who wouldn't attack me with snakes if I got her mad." "What about Kiba's mama? His daddy left and now he don't got one." Kakashi rolled his eye. "She is a little old for me, pup, and again, I would prefer someone a little nicer. She would probably neuter me in my sleep." "What's that?" "Ask Pakin," said Kakashi with a laugh.
Alright guys, it's gonna be part 12 of What If Naruto Was the Red Flash. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Oh my god, I can't believe, um, I was reading comments. I'm sorry. This is gonna be part 7 of What If Naruto Was Adopted by Kakashi. I hope you guys enjoyed this part, and if you did, like, subscribe, tell me what you loved about it in the comments, yeah, so, I might upload another video tonight since I have a 4-day weekend, or I might not. I don't really know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this part, and I will see you guys in the next part. Bye.